Evaporator coolers are pretty neat, so it's blowing in about 75-degree air. I have the Aspen coolers on it, and it's the cheapest coolers at Home Depot. They are little, it's basically plants. As you can see, there's a little strand of it up there. It's basically a wooden sponge or a wooden filter, and it's 108 outside and it's blowing in 75-degree air. It might be a nice option if it's pretty dry where you are. This won't work in Florida though, it's way too humid there. These are pretty simple machines, so you know how when you sweat you feel cooler? So that's basically what this machine is doing. It is a sweating machine. They do get very ugly after a while, but you see the pads in here? It is basically a wooden sponge, and it gets all of the sponge wet and then sucks air across it, which cools it down. Right now it's 108 degrees outside, so it's doing a pretty good job. Mine is leaking though. Either way, let me just show you what the inside of this machine looks like. It's pretty neat. Alright, so here is the inside of the machine. There is a pump right down there that sucks all the water up to the top. Then it dumps it into little troughs or valleys with dots in them. Or it's like a gutter with dots. So it spreads the water evenly across all of these filters here. And all the water, of course, drips back down there and gets sucked back up and reused. It does a quite good job. There are there are rubber type mats as well you can get, though they apparently don't cool quite as good as the Aspen ones or the wooden sponge type ones. But these ones are more of a mess. By the way, did you see a float inside there? Basically, there's a float in here which acts as a valve. When the water level is too low, the float turns on and it starts filling up. And then once it gets back up to the desired level, it turns itself back off. It's attached to a garden hose spigot with this little tiny hose right here. And this is what it looks like over at the garden hose. The fitting is very slightly leaking. That's my fault probably. It's like $20 for this little setup here. Basically, it's a new spigot that hooks onto your garden hose, and it has that little line on that goes to the swamp cooler. By the way, I might use evaporator cooler and swamp cooler interchangeably. They mean the same thing though. And here is the thermometer. So the thermometer fell a while ago, so the left side is Celsius, the right side is Fahrenheit, and currently it's about 108 degrees Fahrenheit outside, or about 44 degrees Celsius. It's basically pretty warm. It's barely intact, but it still works just fine. You just can't tell it's Celsius or Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's around 75 degrees roughly, and coming down here to the power usage, it is at 294 watts, 295, which is about the same as 2 or 3 fans. The pump uses about 50 watts alone. I guess I'm also supposed to ask, hey, if you're new to the channel or like the video, can you leave a like please? Thanks. Have a good day.